of the most important votes in Moldova's history is due to take place on Sunday, with the incumbent president Maia Sandu fighting off a pro-Russian challenger, Alexander Stoianoglo, in the second round of the presidential election. Will Moldova stay on its pro-European path, or will it make a quick U-turn to head east? Well, to discuss the upcoming election, we are joined by Grigol Julukhidze, an associate professor at Caucasus University in Tbilisi. Good evening.
Good evening, Maciej.
So, first of all, can Maia Sandu be sure ahead of the vote? Well, what do the polls tell us? And are the polls to be trusted in Moldova?
It's very difficult to trust into polls and exit polls because of the complexity of the situation in Moldova. Let's analyze the situation. For example, if other Kremlin-friendly parties swing their support behind Alexander Stoianoglo, the second round will be extremely close. Before last month's votes, Ilan Shor, a Russian-backed oligarch, offered to pay people for working to elect a Russian-friendly candidate and stop the referendum passing. Sandu said that the scam sought to pay off some 300,000 voters, about 10% of the population. Apart from vote buying, and analysts say the first round revealed genuine opposition to Sandu, whose first term has been wrecked by successive crises. First, there was the COVID-19 pandemic, then there was Russia's war in Ukraine, then there was the gas crisis. Although Sandu has weaned Moldova off Russian gas, it came at a heavy cost to one of Europe's poorest countries. Inflation rocketed to more than 30%, causing poverty to tick up. Some have also criticized Sandu's decision to hold the EU referendum on the same day as the presidential election, positioning herself as the only politician capable of bringing Moldova into Europe. And the plan of the government was that the issue of European integration will drag up the support for Maia Sandu. It turned out other way around. The discontent with Maia Sandu dragged down the support for European integration. And Stoianoglo right now is attempting to capitalize on discontent with Sandu by keeping one foot in both camps. He has called for a reset of relations with Moscow and said would be willing to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin while maintaining his committed of joining the EU. As a result...
Yes, but this reset you are talking about could also mean the very reset of relations with the EU. And therefore, here's the question about the importance of tomorrow's vote, because we already know that Moldovans have voted to stay on a pro-European cause in the last referendum. But the question is whether the next president, if Stoianoglo in fact gets elected, can turn the country from this pro-European path.
Sure, definitely. If Stoianoglo is elected as the future president of Moldova, we'll see big sliding in relations with the West, and the Russian influence will be growing on a daily basis. It means that we will lose, much likely, another Eastern Partnership country.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, during the last parliamentary elections in Georgia, the ruling party was trying to spread fears about about the so-called war party, right? That you either vote for us and we guarantee you peace, or you either vote for the opposition, which basically means a future war with Russia. Now, it seems that this strategy has worked in Georgia for the ruling party. Now, is the opposition trying to use the same leverage in Moldova?
I find a lot of similarity in modus operandi because it comes from the Russian and Kremlin playbook. But the topic of war is less relevant in case of Moldova. The main issue is the economic conditions and situation in Moldova, which is worsening because of the above-mentioned reasons. That's why the similarities are between Georgian parliamentary elections and Moldovan presidential elections, and the main, let's say, thing which these two countries have in common before these key political events is the massive polarization of the political background. Either you vote for us or you are against us. There is no space for alternative solutions and way out from this situation. Everything is portrayed in black and white colors. By the way, Russians are very sophisticated and effective in these issues to radicalize and polarize the societies. And they're doing it successfully in Moldova as well, unfortunately.
Right, as we're already talking about Georgia partly, I'd like to ask you about the near future of your country. Well, after many calls from President Zurabishvili and opposition activists, Georgia's Central Electoral Commission will recount the votes. Now, do you think this may change the outcome of the election?
I don't think so. One of the main reasons for the success of the ruling party is very ineffective opposition. First of all, they created an expectation if more than 2 million Georgians vote, the government will be replaced. Which did not come true. Apart from that, they created the narrative according to which it is impossible to falsify the elections, but the day after they were providing different arguments in this regard. Apart from that, they started to, let's say, celebrate their victory after the public opinion polls and exit polls, and 1 hour after they claimed that the elections were stolen. It means that they were very poorly prepared, and I have the impression that their level of preparation is still very low when it comes to the demonstration of alleged falsifications. That's why I don't think that this issue might change anything. The only thing that right now opposition is able to do to create a political crisis, which may lead to the, let's say, early parliamentary elections. And I remind you that if the Georgian Dream, the ruling party, does not manage to collect 100 members of parliament, the parliament will not be effective, will not be able to adopt different resolutions, create parliamentary groups. It will be almost paralyzed. And that's why the only strategy in this direction is the boycott, as I see from the opposition actions and statements.
A boycott, that's one of the options, definitely one of the options. Grigol Julukhidze, Associate Professor at Caucasus University, was our guest this evening. Thank you very much.
Good night.
Thank you. And thank you for watching. That is all the news for now. And stay with us for much more here on TVP World.